Hello, it is A Nikki B on the scene, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another beat with me. And if you are not, welcome back. So Tyler Perry decided to get his big behind self on this podcast with this young woman. Well, she's not really a young woman, but with this woman. And basically he was giving his advice about what black women should be doing, particularly the type of black women who are successful. And he pretty much was saying, like, you know, those type of black women who are successful should settle down for a man, you know, who doesn't have it all, you know, who can only support the light bill and nothing else, you know, contribute nothing else to the house, to the kids, to anything else. If he has love for you, you should settle for him. As long as he loves you, that's what makes everything okay. That is such a bad mentality to have, because I feel like we always have these types of conversations about black women and relationships, and it always seems to always come down to the black woman always have to lower her standard in order to be approachable, in order to be liked, in order to get married, in order to find love. Her standards must be below zero. And it's like, we don't ever tell other cultures of women to lower their standards, but for some reason when it comes to black women in America, we tell them to lower their standards because their standards is too high, which is why they're not finding love, which is why they're not finding, you know, the right type of men. It's really weird, because if anybody knows anything about relationships, they should understand that it's circumstantial. Some things may not work out because you're in a certain area. You might be in an area where some of the people are just kind of trash. You might have to explore outside of your state, outside of your town, outside of your home to kind of find some decent people around. And that doesn't mean it's going to work, you know, when you do find somebody outside of your comfort, but it's a matter of a place, a timing. So it's just like, you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I feel like we're in an age where people want to force everything. They want to accept everything. I just believe as black women should not have to accept and settle for something that they honestly shouldn't want. And it kind of got me thinking about too, like, remember that woman, I think her name was Ebony K. Williams, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Williams is not her last name, but Ebony K, something like that, whatever. But basically when Ayanna asked her, was basically saying like, hey, like, would you I think she said, would you date a bus driver or would you marry a bus driver? And then she was like, well, if he owns the company, then yes. And definitely I feel like her delivery of that entire message was like a little However, I understood where she was coming from. Why should she have to settle for a man that she does not want? She wants to live a certain lifestyle. She makes a certain amount of money. Therefore, she should find somebody who shares a similar lifestyle. So why should she have to settle for somebody that honestly would not be able to handle that type of lifestyle? Whether they, you know, whether they like her or not, it doesn't really matter how much love you have for a person. If your lifestyle does not match, then it will not work. And why should a woman or a man, you know, in this conversation, I think it plays in both parties. Why should either parties settle for something that they initially do not want? It just didn't make any sense. And I just think a lot of people should stop taking that advice. Because the thing is, Tyler Perry's not the only one who said that. That's the thing I want people to understand. He is not the first and will not be the last who has said what he said. I definitely heard that type of rhetoric from, you know, those little podcasts on TikTok, etc. So I definitely hear this kind of idea spewed about. And it's like, if I'm becoming successful, if I'm making my earnings, and therefore because I'm making more money, I'm going to be able to change my environment. I'm going to be able to move in certain places where that guy you will want me to settle for, he's not going to be able to go. And plus, on top of that, why would you want a person to hold the burden of taking care of everything? You know, I feel like we live in a time where it's like, we really can't have one income. We gotta have two incomes, and everybody gotta put their share into that. No one can really separate things and hold down the fort like that anymore. Things are just way too expensive, okay? This room here, my parents' house, it's too expensive right now. So why would you want somebody to uphold majority of the responsibilities and their only responsibility is a light bill? There's a lot of things wrong with that. And again, I don't think anyone should be walking around with that type of idea. Your best bet is to change your environment, go to different places, join events. You know, you want to find people who are similar to you. And I get the whole, you know, opposites attract, whatever. That's true too. But it's just a matter of sometimes the area that you're in might not be it. You might meet someone really amazing in Paris. You might meet somebody really amazing in Africa. You never know. When it comes to just finding love, finding that partner, the guy, the girl, it don't matter. Most of it is really circumstantial, and even then, even when you do talk to somebody, you hitting it off, it may or may not work. That's just the reality of it. That's just life. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole Tyler Perry spiel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will be back again with another one.